Hey, beautiful people, I'm Teresa B. Wilson, and I want to tell you how I accidentally created passive income. My husband and I owned a car lot, and we were selling used cars. And back in that day, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have all the stuff that you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have social media. You advertised in the yellow pages or you sent out flyers, and we did all of that. You advertised in the neighborhood, you had word of mouth, and we did all of that. But so we were sitting around one day and we're like, okay, wonder how we could create more income coming in or how we could get more people to see our cars. So while we were sitting there and we were just talking, this guy comes in and says, hey, I am a representative of a big name rental truck company. And we rent moving trucks and we rent tow dollies. And if you are interested, we would like to put our trucks and trailers here. And so we were like, okay, yeah, that would be great. And so we were thinking, my husband and I, we were thinking, hey, this is going to be really great. It's just add a little bit of income to us. And that will create some traffic, a little bit of traffic. But what we didn't realize was, and this is how we accidentally stumbled upon this, is that at the end of the month, people move out, and at the beginning of the month, people move in. So here we were, our niche market were cash cars. We didn't sell cars, high end cars. We sold cash cars where most people could afford to pay cash for them on the spot. You didn't really need financing, you could just buy them. So we didn't realize that the rental truck business was bringing in our ideal client. Here they were the people who were moving out of the neighborhood or moving into the neighborhood. And so how we created the passive income was we didn't have to do any advertising. The rental truck company did all of the advertising, they did all of the booking, and all they would do was they set us up with a website off of their site so people could book on our site. And all we had to do was, when the people came in, get them to sign the paperwork, give them a key, let them go, or either we received in their key, let them sign the paperwork, and they went. So it ended up really creating for us over 50% of our income, because while the people were there renting trucks or renting a tow dolly, or if they were renting one of the trailers, they were looking at the cars. People get bored, they're waiting for this or waiting for that, and they would look at the cars. So we had customers there looking at cars, and then we would have customers, they would call people to come in, hey, you were looking for this car, they got this car for this. And our price was so great, and our customer service was top notch. And so we were getting referrals after referrals just from people renting these trucks, moving in the neighborhood or moving out of the neighborhood. So it actually became a lead generator for us, and really became a great passive income, and us not even realizing that back in the day, that's what we were creating. And so today, what I'm going to teach you guys is I'm going to teach you how to create passive income. And I'm going to teach you 3 ways, very easy ways, and I'm going to give you 3 success stories of how people did this and really made a lot of money, made a ton of money doing it, actually. So number 1, I'm going to teach you how to flip retail products. Number 2, I'm going to teach you how you can sell information products. And number 3, I'm going to teach you how to maybe do short-term room rental or house rental. Okay, so let me walk you through number 1 about flipping retail products. So that brings me to Mark Lowry. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Mark Lowry, but let me tell you something. This man is worth a ton of money, $500 million to be exact. Mark Lowry had he's been on the internet when the internet first come out, and so he was just accidentally, all of these stories are accidental stories, so he accidentally just looking through, and he decided that he would search different words. Well, he got to the word diapers, and he realized that this word had been searched over 200,000 times in a month. So he said, well, if it's being researched 200,000 times in a month, then people must really be looking diapers. So he decided, he said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start buying diapers and selling them on eBay or Amazon, and I'm going to start shipping them overnight. So he goes to the main distributors, Huggies, and he goes to Procter and Gamble, and he says, okay, I want to buy these diapers. And they say, well, your idea won't work. You got a crazy idea, it's stupid, it won't work. And he says, okay. So what he did was he got him a van, and he went to Costco, and he went to BJ's, and he bought all the diapers that they had. Well, he started advertising them overnight shipping online And it was like 1-800 diapers. That's how it started because he couldn't even afford really the .com yet. So it started out 1-800 diapers, and then it turned into diapers.com. So he started selling these diapers. Well, to his amazement, he started selling 1,000 boxes of diapers a day. So he goes to Costco and the BJ's and he starts buying up all these diapers. Well, Costco and BJ's, they get upset with him and said, "You got to stop buying all our diapers. We don't have any for our customers." And he said, and so he told me, he said, "Well, I went to Huggies. They won't sell them to me. Went to Procter & Gamble. They won't sell them to me." He said, "But I'll leave diapers on the shelf for you." So he started leaving diapers on the shelf, but then the demand got so great that he really needed all of the diapers. So he started telling me, he said, "Look, I really need all these diapers, so I'm just going to buy up all the diapers you have. You have them for sale. I'm going to be here when they unload, and I'm going to buy all the diapers that you have." And look, he wasn't even stacking these in the warehouse. He was putting them in his garage. He was putting them in his front yard. I mean, he just, it wasn't like he just expanded into this huge thing. So anyway, they're like, well, they got really angry. And he said, "Well, you know what to do? You call Procter & Gamble. If they'll sell them directly to me, then I will stop buying all of your diapers." Because the diapers is what brought most of the customers in. So Procter & Gamble, they called Procter & Gamble, he calls them, and they said, "Okay, we're going to sell you these diapers, even though we don't think you've got a marketable idea, and we think this idea sucks. But we're going to sell you these diapers." And so guess what? He ended up with a $500 million company off diapers.com. And all of this goes back to having a crazy idea, right? And just accidentally saying, "Okay, I'm going to try this and see how this works." And so that brings me to selling information products. Like you can write an ebook. You can sell books that are already out there. You can record an audio book or video course. You can set up an account, and then you can, like on Facebook, you can sell your book you wrote. You can sell your Audible book. You can go to different websites like Skillshare, Coursera and Coursera, and sell your information, sell things that you created. Or either you could do just like Ryan Grant, who accidentally started a $4 million business on Amazon. And so what he did was, Ryan was going to college, and at the end of the semester, he took his books down to the college bookstore and said, "Hey, I want to sell these books back." And so when they got ready to give him a price, they gave him a very, very, very undeserved price, an undesired price. And he's like, "No, I'm not selling these to you then." So he goes home and he decides, "I'm going to sell these books on Amazon." So he starts selling his books on Amazon, realizes, wait a minute, I'm making a lot of money off my books. So then he started selling his friends' books, like, "Hey, you want to sell your books?" So he sold his books for friends. Then what he did was he took a table down to the library, sat in front of the library on the sidewalk, and as people went in to sell their books, he would tell them, "Hey, I'll buy your books from you, and I'll pay you 10% more than the library is going to pay you." Well, you know what the kids are going to do? They're going to be like, "Oh, heck yeah." So they gave him the books, and he paid them 10% more, and then he started selling them on Amazon. And from his accidental business, Ryan created a $4 million business selling things on Amazon. And so then, beautiful people, the third thing, I was teaching you two things. One, flip retail products. Number two, selling information products. But number three, how about selling your short-term rental for a room, or a short-term home rental? You could rent out your whole home for a week or weekend, or a room for a week or weekend, or even months if you wanted to. And so this brings me to my next accidental story. And this is about Brian Chesky. Him and his friend Joe, they lived together and they were broke. And they were like, "Man, we got to pay rent, and I don't know what we're going to do in order to raise money to pay rent." And so they were living in San Francisco, and they decided that what they were going to do is rent. They had an air mattress in a room by itself. And they said, "Okay, this San Francisco's having a conference. There's no hotels or motels that you could rent out." So what they decided to do was rent out that air mattress for the weekend, and they called it Air Bed and Breakfast. because they did cook breakfast and stuff. They did cook breakfast and stuff for the people. But anyway, I thought this was absolutely hilarious that they rented out. I mean, it's just like some college kids or whatever to rent out their air mattress. Hey, you want to rent out this air mattress? Well, everybody thought that was a stupid idea. They're like, this is not going to work. I hope you got something else in the works besides this stupid idea, because this is never going to work. And yet, that crazy idea turned into, I think that the company is worth $31 billion. I think that was a pretty good idea about how to create a company. But you see, beautiful people, how these people accidentally comes upon a business to make passive income. And so what you want to do is you want to do something when you get ready to generate passive income that ties into maybe the business that you already have. Just like he already had a room and he had this mattress. He's like, okay, let me do this. Ryan already had his books and he said, okay, let me do this. And just like, okay, sometimes we accidentally come into things that we don't even realize is going to become such a big deal. And just like my husband and I went into passive income by renting out rental trucks while we sold used cars, not realizing it was going to be over 50% of our business. So anyway, beautiful people, 3 ways that you can make passive income is flip retail products, selling information products, and short-term room rental or short-term home rental. All right, beautiful people, you have a great day.